I asked Google who the hardest working people are, and I came across sports legend
It's like 5 a.m. Gotta get ready for the gym.
Kobe Bryant. Waking up at 5 to hit the gym, he would only average 3 to 4 hours of sleep per night. And during the off season, sometimes he would undergo a biphasic sleep cycle, meaning he would sleep for 2 hours, work out, and then sleep for 2 hours. After a full workout, he was making himself breakfast by 8:30 and getting ready to head back to the gym for a full day of work or to his office post-retirement. As Kobe once said, if you want to be great at something, there's a choice you have to make. So what are you striving for? I asked Google how to become more accomplished, and I found the routine of one of the world's most historical figures. Just 1 week of this routine has drastically changed my mindset about things that I hate doing. Benjamin Franklin. To get the most out of his day, he did 2 things that surprised me. First, when waking up, Ben would ask himself, what good shall I do today? Creating a list of his goals that he would focus on accomplishing from 8 a.m. to noon. This next step was simple but extremely challenging. By the age of 20, Ben created a list of 13 virtues, which he would pick one each week to improve upon. So from 2 to 6 p.m., I tried to stay true to my virtue and keep a positive mindset while doing my dreaded online courses. By doing this routine, I've learned that setting clear goals and changing your outlook is much more beneficial than just going through the motions. Thanks, Ben. I challenged myself to train like one of the greatest fighters of all time.
It's 27 degrees and I'm about to run.
Mike Tyson, who starts his day at 4 a.m. to go on a morning run. After finishing his run, he goes back to bed, and at 10 a.m. he has his usual breakfast washed down with a protein shake. But this is where it gets hard. At noon, he goes to the gym for his training, but he also starts working on an insane amount of sit-ups, dips, push-ups, and shrugs that he has to complete before the end of the day.
Bro, I'm dying.
So many that he has to leave the gym to eat, returning a few hours later to finish the 2,000 sit-ups, 500 dips, 500 push-ups, and 500 shrugs. I finished the day off with recovery, and I skipped a lot of steps that are on my Instagram.
Oh, it's cold.
I asked Google how to become rich, and I came across the founder of Amazon and the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos.
He claims his routine will make him more successful, so I'm doing it for the week.
Here's what I learned. He wakes up early but likes to keep his mornings relaxed before his first meetings at 10 a.m. He uses the extra time in the morning to do things he enjoys, like working out, which I noticed drastically improved my energy for the remainder of the day.
I'm usually still asleep by this time. I'm feeling good.
Claiming that he feels less productive after lunch, Jeff schedules his most important events from 10 a.m. to noon. As a student, this meant I pushed all of my bullshit online classes to afternoon, while taking care of my more demanding ones first. Instead of worrying about what needs to get done, attack the most important things first and your whole day opens up. Thanks, Jeff. I asked Google how to be more in control of my mind, and I came across meditation, which sounds kind of lame, but there's a specific technique that's insane. If you're like me, your mind and anxieties never seem to truly turn off. And my first few attempts at meditating made these thoughts even louder. But after some more research, I came across something incredible. A breathing technique that biologically relaxes your body, mind, and reduces anxiety. Double breath in and long exhale through the nose. Dude, science is fucking cool. I asked Google what it physically takes to be a US soldier, and I came across the APFT, which is a physical test completed at the end of 10 weeks of basic training. So we're gonna see if we can pass with 0 training. Essentially, the test is scored out of 300 points. 100 points based on how many push-ups you can do in 2 minutes.
Come on. 2 more. 34. 35. He got 100.
100 points based on how many sit-ups you can do in 2 minutes.
Come on, you're close. 80. He's done it.
That was terrible.
And lastly, 100 points based on how fast you can run 2 miles.
I have such a bad cramp.
But I ended up finishing with a decent time. I challenge you guys to do this with a friend, see who gets the better score.
Way too hard.
I asked Google who the most successful and determined people are, and I came across
It's 4 a.m. Yo, who does this?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who contributes his success to his crazy daily routine. Essentially, he wakes up every day at 4 a.m. for workout number 1, followed by breakfast and what he calls quiet time.
Homework done.
By 7 a.m., he works out again. So like The Rock, I worked out again, but here's the hard part of the challenge: eating. He eats 7 meals a day. So in between my online classes, I attempted to eat a meal, and every 2.5 hours after that.
How does he eat all this?
Doing this routine taught me a very valuable lesson. It's only 8:15. If you're like me and you always say, I don't have enough time, you're probably just wasting too much of it. A few weeks ago, I asked Google what the most physically intense workouts are. After barely completing the One Punch Man challenge, you guys said I need to try a Murph. This challenge is insane. The workout was created by Navy SEAL Michael Murphy. Essentially, it's a 1 mile run,
551, not too bad.
followed by 100 pull-ups, which we had to do on this makeshift setup because we couldn't find an actual pull-up bar. Then 200 push-ups,
And 1,000.
then 300 squats, which hurt so badly we turned into a game of who could endure the most pain.
My legs are destroyed.
Topped off with another mile run, which despite throwing up, we still finished. Send this to a friend and go do something active together.